Hello and welcome to the Candid Corner. This is a new segment that I am starting here on my YouTube channel, and it's basically just going to be videos or podcasts, whatever you want to call it, where I am just going to be speaking candidly without necessarily having a script or anything. But there's a main topic of idea that I have, and it's just something that I want to get out there into the world and not necessarily make a video about, and hence it's in this kind of a format. So let's begin. About a week or so ago, I was part of an event. After having participated in that event, I went back home, looked at all my rushes, and had started editing when I actually just took a moment to pause and reflect on my experience about this event that had just happened. And somehow words just came to me and I wrote a script. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this in one of my recent reels where I posted this in the caption. And of course, the caption limit on Instagram is limited, so I had to spread it across a couple of comments as well. But I thought, since I was going to start this new segment on my channel anyway, the Candid Corner, I realized maybe this could be the way to start it, by just reading out what I wrote after that event. So here goes. The title is The Buzz. I've been part of events before, as a performer, as an audience member, and also as a manager once. The nervous anticipation for this, though, was palpable. I had nothing to do except wait as the crowds rolled in. My job was solitary but simple. Set up the shot, hit record, and check if all is good every now and then for about 1.5 hours. The opening of the doors pierced the silence of the empty theater. The buzz had arrived. Slowly the crowd filtered in. I watched every face. Whether it was a parent, sibling, friend, or colleague of a performer, everyone entered with a hint of bubbling eagerness, trying to find a good seat. 10, 20, 100, slowly the hall filled to its capacity of about 400. Everyone was chatting. For some reason, I was nervous. I was not even performing. No one was even going to pay attention to me for the event. I was all the way at the back, cordoned off in my own little section, camera facing forward. I wish I could have gotten up and paced a little to get rid of that nervous energy. I can only imagine how it must have felt for the performers backstage. I'm sure it was worse for them. They couldn't even see the crowd, but only hear the buzz get louder every minute. Maybe I was nervous on behalf of my two friends who were going to perform. They'd been training for 3 months, almost every day. As much as I was worried about my camera overheating or having a failed recording through the 1.5 hours that lay ahead, I badly wanted them to perform without hiccups. I'd only been part of this group of incredibly talented individuals for less than a day. I can't even imagine how they must have felt with 3 months of training behind them, all finally coming to a culmination. And whoever I interacted with was so welcoming, kind, and friendly towards me, asking if I had lunch or offering me a seat when they saw me sitting on the floor transferring footage, or simply smiling and acknowledging my presence. It felt like I had a new family, albeit just for a day. As soon as I heard the cue that the show was about to start, it was like a switch flipped inside of me. I threw my phone away, did my final checks, hit record. My nerves had disappeared in an instant. Focus, intent. Moments later, the lights dimmed and the show began. Spoiler, Ayat was absolutely mind-blowing. Even though my attention was divided due to my duties, I still felt the goosebumps. I still felt the emotions. I still felt the sentiments of every flawed character on stage. Every dance step and every expression of every single one of the almost 50 performers reverberated throughout the theater. And the fact that they performed twice in a day, that is dedication to your craft. The curtains closed, the audience left. I packed my gear. Just as I was done, the last audience member left the theater and the doors shut behind them. The curtains opened again. The performers were still on stage with their director. Someone let out an audible gasp. Just moments before, they had seen a full house with the crowd abuzz and applauding on their feet. Now it was empty and silent again. Well, except for me. And one of them said out loud, "The videographer is our biggest fan. He stayed till the end." I was. What a privilege it was to have seen this show twice. Perks of being a videographer. But how surreal. From their perspective, they hardly saw the crowd. Were they even there? Did the show even happen? Did they just perform their hearts out? I also saw that burning passion that every performer had in their director, who clearly knew his shit. He inspired every one of his dancers. Earlier in the day, he gave time to everyone, not just his lead performers. Every one of the 9 pieces he choreographed was his baby, and he made sure they all functioned smoothly like a well-oiled machine. He even had time for a chat with me, not a hint of nervous energy from him, not a hint of anger at any technical difficulties that happened in the dry run. What a leader. I knew him for less than a day, yet he left an impact on me as a fellow artist. I didn't need to, but I hung back afterwards and stayed through the whole extensively long debrief. Not just to click pictures, not just because my friends were there, not just because I needed a distraction that night, because The Beauty of Life, a video that I've worked my ass off for, had just gone live on YouTube, but because I wanted to eke out every ounce of inspiration I could from the whole ensemble. Just to be a part of something like this was such a humbling and exciting opportunity. Everyone was exhausted, yet everyone was abuzz with immense pride and satisfaction at having produced a magnificent show. I guess that buzz from the crowd rubbed off on them. Fuck, the feeling art gives you, no matter the form it takes, is unparalleled. This is what I live for. Well, that was it. That was The Buzz. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, well, that's going to be it for the first episode of the Candid Corner. I hope you guys will enjoy this sort of a format that I'm going ahead with. Not to worry, the 2-minute reviews and the normal vlogs on philosophy, self-development, and life in general will all continue. This is just a new segment that I'm starting. Once again, this is Tejas. This is the Candid Corner. See you in the next one.